Yo guys, what is up? Hope everybody is doing good. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the Huzi Trade Assistant tool to better improve your probabilities while trading options on Deriv. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be showing the volatility 50 index. That's what we're going to be trading. And I'm going to be showing you how the tool works, how to interpret all of these counters which you see on your screen right here. So first things first, let's get to the why this tool has been created in the first place. So I created this tool for myself because when I was trading options on Deriv using their D trader, I noticed a few things which kind of made me lose a lot of money. Okay. And one of them was that if you just happen to look at the screen, okay, if you're trading options and you're trading, for example, let's say one tick, what you're seeing right now over here is you're just seeing the chart move. You're seeing the tick price move, and you have no way in which you can take this flow of data, this raw flow of the market movement, and create it into a language that you can possibly understand. Okay. So over here, you don't have those necessary tools. I mean, you do have these indicators, but I don't think so. These are going to be any useful if you're going to be trading over under and you're determining the last digit and you're trading ticks. So it doesn't make sense. So now from the technical standpoint, you've moved from the chart analysis territory to the statistical analysis territory. Okay. So understanding the flow of the market and how to interpret that flow, understanding the averages and the maxes it can go to. Like for instance, I am trading over under and I've selected the mode over five, right? And you're gonna be like if you're someone who's new or someone who's been trading options at Deriv, what you would possibly do is that you're gonna wait for this last digit to land up on non-winning digits. Okay, you might have some in your head that okay, after five times it lands up on a non-winning digit, that's when I'll press the over button and it's gonna execute the over trade for me, right? But the thing is that even if you manage to keep track of one trade, right? So the moment you execute the trade, and for instance, it lost, in this matter, it won, but we're going to assume that this trade technically lost. Okay. And if you wanted to basically increase the trade size and manage to try to capture the very next tick. Let's see how that would go while trading at the D trader, right? So first of all, we're trading over five. We click this and quickly I went over here. I'm gonna press buy again, and you can see that I have missed a huge gap. Like two ticks have been missed, which I could have possibly targeted, and I wanted to open a trade, the first one of $10 and the second one of $20 instantaneously. With D trader, it's not possible. Okay. And I know a lot of people who possibly have splendid strategies and just wanted to figure out a way in which they can execute their trades fast. So the Huzi Trade Assistant is going to solve that problem. Secondly, you might have noticed that when I head over to the stake input field and I put in the values, it takes time, right? It takes time for these buttons to appear. It takes time for me to type them down. And of course, when real money is going to be at stake, emotions are going to be at high. So human error chances become more and more probable. So to counter all of these situations, to get a better statistical analysis, in addition to the ones which you see over here, which I mean they are good. They are telling you the last digit, you can say how many times it has occurred. Like the number zero has occurred 10.3%. This has occurred 8% in the last 1,000 ticks. Now, 1,000 ticks is a lot of data. And you need to be focused on the recent way how the market is behaving, right? You don't want to be going way, way back. Basically, that won't make any sense, right? So, to counter all of these problems, to get a better understanding of how the market moves, we created the Whoosy Trade Assistant. Okay. So, let me show you the things side by side. Let me make this small and let me put this to the side. Okay, so what I want you to observe right now it's connected to, like, I've pasted my Deriv API token. It's connected. You can see the pair I've selected is volatility 50 index. Execution mode is for keymap because I'm going to be showing you uh, the speed of execution, and I've already shown you how it's performed on the D trader, and we're going to be doing over here as well on the Hoodie Trade Assistant. Okay. And the same $10 and $20, I'm going to open those trade sizes. So execution mode is going to be key map risk, which you see over here. These are already predefined, you can say mapped values, which you can select. Otherwise, if you want to set something of your own, you can just select custom mapping and you can put the trade sizes that by the press of a button, that trade would be executed at that very instant. You're going to be getting that speed. The whole time taken for you to put down the stake size, the whole time taken for you to move your mouse around and click the button, gone. It's going to solve that, right? So mode I've selected is even. I'm just going to put it at over 5. So once you have all of these settings set up, just click on the connect button. Once you do, it's going to show you that your digit tracker is connected, your key map execution mode is connected, and your session start balance, which you can clearly see 993. You can see the same balance being represented over here. Now, to understand how this tool works is, first of all, just look at this particular value, last digit. So the last digit, which you see over here at the chart, this one, it's 7, now it's 9, now it's 6. You can see the last digit on our trade assistant tool is representing the same value because that's the value which we are concerned with. Since we're trading over 5, we want this last digit to be either 6, 7, 8, or 9 for us to win a trade. And if it is something like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that means we are going to be losing the trades. Those are the losing digits for this particular mode. Okay. And how the current streak works. The way the current streak works is that whenever the market tick moves to a losing digit. Okay, so for the over 5, let me recap. The losing digits are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So every time simultaneously it lands up on a losing digit, you're gonna see the current streak getting incremented by 1 side by side. Okay, you can see now the winning digit came, it reset the current streak to 0. So whenever the losing digits are going to occur simultaneously, you are going to see the current streak go up in value, which you can see now a winning digit came, it reset to 0, and pretty much just created a whole language, a whole way of tracking the flow of the market price, the flow of data, like how the volatility 50 index is moving and how has its movement affected the counters. Like this one, it's going to reset right now. You see, I was just going to put a trade over here, but this was at a higher value. Like all of these counters you see over here, they have their maximums, they have their averages, they have their worst case scenarios. So based on top of that, you can create a better sense of judgment when executing your trades while trading options at Deriv. So how we're going to talk about these as well. But first of all, I hope the concept for what the last digit means is clear. Current streak, how it works. I hope that's clear. And last reset, what it's going to tell you is that what was the last value of the current streak when it reset to zero? Like this is one right now. So you see, it became one. So we're going to wait for it to go to a higher value. Now, if it would have reset over here, you see, now it's two. And the max streak is going to tell you the absolute maximum time, like how many times did simultaneously it kept on landing on a losing digit. So this is going to give you an idea of what you are to expect. Okay, you can let it run for a couple of hours. You can let it run for an entire day. Just connect and let it run. So you get the averages, the maximum values. So you are better prepared that, okay, this is how the market can behave. This is the worst case it can go to. This is my balance, and that is how I'm going to be playing this game. That is how I'm going to be managing my risk. So that's how these counters are going to help you. So this clear. Now moving over to the counters. First of all, we're going to start with the individual counters. Then we're going to talk about the pair counters. Then we're going to be talking about the triplets, the quads, and the quintets. So how these counters work, like we're going to talk about the individual counters. So whenever the current streak moves up in value, what you're going to be seeing is that all of these individual counters are basically linked to the current streak values. Like if the current streak is one, it's directly linked to this. If its value becomes two, it's directly linked to this. If its value becomes three, it's directly linked to this. And you can see it reset on three, it reset this as well. Okay. So how these work is that when the current streak value, which you're seeing over here, that the market is constantly moving, simultaneously moving, landing up on non-winning digits, the current streak keeps on incrementing. So how these individual counters, or the first individual counter in particular, how this is going to increment is that when the value of the current streak becomes greater or equals to 2, okay, it like right now it's greater than or equal to 2. Now it reset, you can see the first individual counter incremented by 1. Now again, if it's going to reset, you're going to see its value go up. Okay, you see it went up. Similarly, because the last reset was 4, then technically that included 2 as well. It included 3 as well. So their values also incremented, and the value which it reset on, that is going to reset that particular individual counter as well, which you can clearly see right now. Current streak went to 1, then went to 0, and directly reset the first individual counter as well. So currently the third individual counter value is 3. So in order for this to reset, the current streak has to go to 3 and then 0. It's now at 4. Now when it resets, you're going to see this increment and this increment clearly. Okay, so we're going to wait for this to reset. 3, 0. Straight away went to 0. This went to 0 as well. So I hope that clarifies the concept on how these work with individual counters, all the way from first till 10, the individual counters, how they are interacting with the current streak value, which is being derived by the last digit on how it's moving. Now we're going to move over to the pair counters. Now, in order for the individual counters to reset, you only had one condition, that the reset has to be exclusively at that particular value. So in order for this to reset, the value exactly has to be 1 and goes to 0, then this will reset. If it is anything above that, it is going to increment it. But for pair counters, you have two reset conditions. Now, if the current streak goes to either 1 or 2 and resets to 0, this pair counter, the first and second one, is also going to reset. Like this is 1, it reset, you can see this reset as well. And of course, if anything was there, that reset as well. So that's how pair counters work. Now, when it comes to talking about how they increment, Well, the current streak value is right now at 3. Now, when it's going to reset, you can see the first and second incremented by 1. The reason is, in order for this particular counter to increment, the first and second one, the current streak value has to be greater than or equals to 3 before it resets to 0. And when it does, you are going to see that this incremented, right? And in order for it to reset, it has to be either 1 or 2, go to 0. It didn't go to 0, it went to 3. You're going to see its value go up to 2, its value go up to 1, and you can see. Okay, now we're going to wait for them to reset. 1, 2, 3, 4, and because it reset on 4, the reset conditions over here were either 3 or 4. That is why this reset to 0, the third and fourth counter. All right. And similarly, if the value, for instance, for the current streak went till, let's just say 6, like it is right now, now it's going to increment all three of these counters because the last reset was 7. The first and second incremented, of course, this incremented, of course, this incremented, of course. And because the last reset was 7, technically, if it had any value, this would have reset to 0. But since it was already 0, it remained at 0. So that's how the whole concept of the current streaks correlation with giving a language to this flow of market to help us better analyze statistically on what we are to expect and hopefully make good returns, right? So now coming over to the triplets, the way that triplets work, now these have 3 reset conditions. If the current streak was either 1, 2, or 3 before it goes to 0, it would reset. Like this is 1, reset, and you can see its value went to 0. So in order to keep a track of all of these, like what are the maxes which are observed, what are the like kind of averages, it's gonna tell you. Okay, it's gonna show you over here that once you use the tool, okay, the good news is you can download this tool and try it out for free. Okay, you can try it out for free for 30 days. Just let it run, play around with it on a demo account, see if you can come up with cool strategies because I know I have, and see if it can improve your trading experience, which I definitely know it will. Because this is the same thing which I, like I said, created for myself, use it for myself, and decided that, okay, if I was facing these problems, definitely there are going to be people out there who face the same problems. And if it solved my problems, it's definitely going to solve your problems, right? So coming over to the triplet counters, we've discussed this. So for the first quad, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, first, second, third, and fourth. This is going to have 4 reset conditions. The second quad of values are like 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what second quad does. The first quintet, as the name suggests, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 reset conditions. And in order for this to increment, the current streak value has to be greater or equals to 6 before it resets to 0. Right? Currently it's at 4. Come on, go 1 up. It reset at 5 because the 5 was included over here. That's why it did an increment. But the quad, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why it reset at 5 and its value over here incremented to 1. Okay, so I hope that made sense on how these counters work and these inverse counters. Okay, these are a new addition which I added, and currently right now I am also studying their effect, like in order to improve my trading strategies. Like I'm gonna let it run for a couple of hours and see like what am I supposed to expect, right? Like what are gonna be the effects of these counter values on the normal counter values, because there is always going to be a correlation over here. And once you start using it, you are going to agree. Okay, like it's not just me saying it, it's the numbers which you're going to see for yourself, they are going to correlate. So now when it comes to executing the trades, because that's what I wanted to show you, right? So I'm going to click over here. So all of the trade sizes you can first of all map yourself, and I'm pretty sure you would want to map yourself. So we are going to do that. We're going to click on the execution mode drop down menu. We're going to click on custom mapping. And over here, this is kind of like a preset. So like if you want to use this, this is for, I guess, even odd or over five, anything with a 95% probability. Like these are the lowest sizes which you can possibly create. Okay, but we're making our custom sizes. So I'm gonna write 10 separated by a comma, 20. Like this is what I'm gonna be using in my trading. Okay, and I'm gonna click on save preset. I'm gonna give it a name, YouTube test. Click on OK. Now it's saved. Okay, so custom mapping is saved. We're gonna click on disconnect once. Again, we're gonna click on connect. All right. And just to make sure that everything is loaded up, we're going to click on custom mapping. We're going to select YouTube test, apply and close. Once you do it, it's going to be connected. Now, all of the trade sizes which you wrote, they are going to be mapped on your keypad, on your keyboard, starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. The first 10 values you would be able to say whatever you write, the trade sizes, the stake sizes which you want opened up, they're going to be mapped from 1 till 0. And if you wanted to go higher, if you like, for example, you placed in 20 values, 20 trade size values, then how they're going to be placed is the next value is going to start at Q. Okay, QWERTYUIOP. So the first 10 trade values are going to be from 1 till 0, and the next 10 are going to be from Q till P. So with that being said, you can see that I mistakenly pressed the first key on my keyboard while I was giving the example, and you can see that the trade was placed at streak 0, and we did end up making a profit on top of it, but I want to show you the speed. Okay. So for instance, do you remember the gap which we saw when we were trading at DTrader? Now I want you to focus and look at the speed of execution. Okay. So we are gonna focus on this counter. Like how I would trade is 1, I put the trade in, it reset to 0. Technically I won. Okay. Okay, I think I kind of placed it a little bit slower, but we're gonna do it again. Done. That trade should have also lost. We're gonna enter again. Bam. This one we won. Now I'm just gonna show you the speed, the back-to-back speed. Okay, let's just say I wanted to take at the very next tick, like how it's gonna look like. So I place a trade over here, another on the second tick, and that one. Okay, and you can see the gap over here. It's like very small, right? As opposed to how you were trading on the Deriv D trader. And all it took was me pressing two keys, two buttons. Okay. And all of that time taken for the trade sizes insertion, all of that time taken for moving your mouse and pressing the button, all of that has been wiped away. This is for the people who like fast-paced stuff, okay, who are in for the, you can say, quick, speedy, efficient, precise executions. This is this tool is going to help those people because that is something which I crave. So definitely the people who are like me, they're going to like this tool as well. So now we're gonna talk about like how are we supposed to trade with these counter values. Okay. So for instance, as we understood that when the current streak value reset goes to 0, that technically means it landed on a winning digit, right? So what we are going to be doing is that we're going to be seeing and waiting for these counters to approach particular values like this one. This is at 2. I'm going to enter and bam. Okay. So how this is gonna work is that you're gonna be waiting for particular counters to reach a certain value, which you think is gonna improve your odds based off what you historically observed. Okay. Based off of either you're entering on the averages, based off of whether you're entering in the worst case scenarios, like you're gonna wait it out. And the best thing is you can automate all of this as well. I'm gonna do another video in which I show how to automate all of this, like all of these strategies. But right now, this is just for the manual side of things. Okay. So since let's just assume that this is the counter I want to trade. Okay, it's at the value 4, the fifth and sixth. I want it to reset to 0. So when the current streak value is going to go to 5, I'm going to execute my first trade. And when it goes to sixth, I'm going to execute my second trade. And if it goes to 7, then that means I'm not going to execute any more trades. I'm going to wait for the current streak to reset, increment this counter so that the next time it starts climbing up, I'm going to be trading on the very same counter. Okay, the pair counter. Like this is currently resetting at 4. So we are just going to wait for the current streak to climb up. Come on, baby. You got to reach 5 or 6 so I can execute my first and second trade. 3, reset to 0. Okay, it's climbing up. So in the meanwhile, while it climbs up, it is important to understand the averages, the maximums which are to be observed here, and create your own trade sizes and plans according to that. So like this is, it just keeps on getting reset at 4. We need for it to go to 5 so we can enter. And you got to exercise patience. Okay. If you're going to be thinking that, oh my God, it just keeps on resetting at 4, I'm just going to enter at 4. And you would be surprised to figure out that as soon as you enter, the current streak value is going to keep on going up. So you got to be patient. You got to wait for the right moment to strike. So currently at 3, like for instance, I'm just going to do it. 1, 2. Okay, we won. I'm going to do it again. 1, 2. Again, we won. Fast trading. Okay, this trade again, we won. Again, we entered. Again, we entered on 2. On 3, we entered. On 4th, we entered. On 5th, we entered. And on 5th, we won. Okay, so technically, I was supposed to enter over here on 5th. But you can see that how fast I was able to execute my trades, right? All by the press of the buttons. Like I had already mapped under them in the custom mapping. All of the keys were mapped. So I was able to execute trades just like that. Okay. So currently we're going to trade this one. Okay. Like this, executed my first trade, won. You can see the balance go up, $10 made. Okay. We're trading over 5, by the way. So that's how you are supposed to interact with these counters, understand their values, and pretty much execute the trades on top of them. Like we have more counters as well. We've got the extra counters, we've got the delayed counters, we've got the exotic, we've got the pair dissection, the individual dissection. So like we've got a whole bunch of advanced counters which you can leverage to your advantage to increase your probabilities to have better odds at winning your trades. Okay. So, but for this video, I'm just gonna focus on the ones that you see when you download the tool for the first time. Like this is what you're gonna be going through, like one step at a time. Like if I start talking about these, of course you're gonna get confused. So best thing is download the tool completely free. If you already trade options at Deriv and you are losing money and you are figuring out something on how to improve your trades or improve your speed, improve your precision, improve your general perspective of the flow of the market, like how I can interpret it, then this is going to help answer all of those questions. Okay. So Now we're gonna be looking at like I'm gonna give you a little bit of tips as well. Okay. So the pair counters you see over here, all the way from first and second till 9 and 10, the averages which you can expect, like these go from 2 to 3. That's the average. And the worst case which I've observed for this particular counter, the first and second, is like 9. And the rest you can say you can pretty much expect the same from the rest of them. But usually the first three pair counters, like these are pretty fast. So you can trade them. Like the current streak barely goes up till 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. I mean, it does tend to shoot up above 10, but those are rare occasions. So most of the time, it's just hanging out between the current streak hangs out between value 1 till 5. So if you want high-paced action, you can focus on trading these. If you want a delayed, you can say you want to wait it out, then you can trade the lower ones. Okay. Now these triplet counters, you can expect their averages to be around, like it's currently showing the averages right now. Okay. It hasn't gone to insane crazy shit. So whatever you're seeing right now, these are the averages of what you can expect from these counters. I know I haven't talked about the inverse counters, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of light on it. Like how these work is like you understand that when the current streak goes to 1 and resets to 0, this gets reset, right? But the inverse one, it's gonna be incrementing. It's gonna be doing the exact opposite. Like you can see when this increments, this resets. When this increments, that resets. So they're inverse of each other, to better put it that way. Okay. So this is how you are supposed to use the Whoosy Trade Assistant tool for your manual trading on options on Deriv. If you like this video, if you found this helpful, make sure to give it a like. And of course, if you want me to make more videos explaining how the tool works, or if you have any questions, you can definitely join the Telegram group, or you can just leave a comment down below and I would respond to it. Okay. So with that being said, I am just going to conclude this short video. I know it's not short, it's pretty long, but it is definitely going to be worth your time if you manage to watch till the end. Okay. So talk to you guys soon. Stay tuned. Bye bye.